The Açores are owned by Portugal still, as is Madeira and Porto Santo. I am terrible with my accents and terrible with my pronunciation. I do apologise, as I do profusely every single episode. But do not worry too much about that. So, another war has started up, the Ugandan-Tanzanian Nationalist War. This is 9 states, and there's already 7. So that war hasn't moved. So Rwanda gained a lot, but has not been able to core any of it yet. And Mozambique, Tanzania, and Kenya are still around. Okay, so we have 11. That will buff them quite a bit. But Uganda has declared war on Tanzania. So it is Ethiopia, Uganda, and Angola up against South Africa, Swaziland, Botswana, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, the Ethiopians, I do believe, have the best general in all of Africa. Zaah Yacob Asfau? Maybe? I do apologise. Anyway, the Angolans are coming in. Lopo de Moraes. Ooh. Ooh. I am not too great at that. And looks like there's going to be very interesting pushes and shoves around here. Interesting that the Tanzanians actually took a piece of Burundi and now are on the same side in a war with them. So, the Tanzanians are being pushed back. The northern part of their territory already falling. Doesn't look like the Ethiopians will need to do much here. Rwanda owns Karagwe for now. Buzinza is owned by Uganda, but they will not be able to grab that if they do not obtain Karagwe. So, another war has ended, and I do not believe on the Saudi war. There goes Yemen, and Oman owns Socotra. I don't know when that happened. Or Socotra. I'm going to be fair. I do know 2 versions of the word, so I'm just going to use both. So Saudi Arabia has obtained Jordan. This is in our timeline. Jordan, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and Yemen. Very, very good for them. It's particularly that Qatar 154 development G, and 145 from Kuwait. It's because of all that oil. Make a lot of dosh out of all that, and not very much off of Jordan or off of Yemen. But hopefully we see the Saudis obtaining all of Arabia, which is not very far out of their hands. Literally, they need 1 province from Hadramaut, all of Oman, and some of Bahrain. So Bahrain, the country, is only on this island called Awal Manama. They have a bit of an issue where the north of the country has all the population. I think it's about an 80-20 split, and there's a lot more land to the south of the capital, but it's not in use. So most of that country's desert as well, I think. 89% is desert. It's it may even be a bit more than that. It probably is. But in the south, they've started building kind of... It looks very interesting on a map. If just look up Bahrain, as it is spelt, BAH, RAIN, and you can just look in the south of the island, and there's very fancy looking... It's housing, but it's in kind of like a key. It's done like a key, but they branch out. They look like kind of like leaves, I guess. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. North America is having issues, and we can have none of that. So, the US, in their infinite wisdom, is up against Mexico, Venezuela, and Brazil. This will be interesting, because there is quite a significant base of troops from Brazil and Venezuela that can help, but this is ultimately going to end in a US victory because they have tons of money. Money that South Africa does not have. Has a bit of it, but not very much at all. Very, very unfortunate for South America and Mexico. More so Mexico, but later on it will be South America. Anyway, the Rwandan war has ended. Rwanda-Burundi war, and that has ended in Bushubi, going to Rwanda, and already adding to their now sizable amounts of land. The Ugandans are still going strong against the Tanzanians. Looks like they may lose an important battle here. Yashu Ishete has just won. He just won, and Kwetdao has just engaged him. But it does look like Hans, no, let me catch the name, Hans Brandt, has had issues. So hopefully the Ugandans push south and take a bit more land from Tanzania. The Ethiopians are sending in quite a few reinforcements, 9,000 troops in all. And we have the Seguian Mauritanian imperialist war with 6 parties. Not very large parties though, but Segu, that's been released very recently, because I do not believe I've seen... No, we have. Because there's Kong and then there's Segu. And Air has been released as... That's new. That's new. I don't know where from it's been released, but it now exists. So Mauritania probably going to lose out here. Senegal and Niger. And of course Segu up against Mali, Burkina Faso, and Mauritania. Thing is with Senegal is it is poorer than Mali, so we will see. Maybe not. So, the Second American-Mexican Imperialist War. This is going to be a bit of a non-contest. Zacatecas, for some reason, has not been occupied. For any Mexican viewers, or Spanish-speaking at all, I am not Spanish. I will not claim to be Hispanic or Latino or Latinx, I think they call it in some area. I don't know. But I do not claim to any of that. I am Northern European, for the most part, in origin, or Balkan European. So just leave that. Don't worry. But you can tease my pronunciation in the comments, by all means. Just go ahead. But it's all good. It's all good. So the Americans, realizing that they don't want any of this poor land from Mexicans, they only want the good land. They want the good stuff. And it looks like... Is there any oil? Yes, of course there is. However, they haven't occupied it yet. Interesting. Time will tell, won't it? And also, this state has a ridiculously long name. I'm just going to call it Veracruz. It's called Eastern Mexico in game, I don't blame them. But it's Veracruz something. Oh well. And that war has indeed ended. So, let's go one province. Wow. Good job, America. Really? Guachichil. And it doesn't look like any difference has been made down here, so... Wow. 12 development. The Americans are like, yeah! Good war, good war. No, not at all. So, Sierra Leone Ivorian Nationalist War. Another war has ended, the Russian War. And Sakhalin has gone to the Russians now. Oh, wow. Dzungkhar, I do not know why it still exists as an independent country. It really shouldn't. Mongolia, of course, still existing. Mongolia has a special place in my heart because 3 million people, really quite a large country, and yeah, it's interesting. Very harsh land. Managed to have the second largest empire in history, and they did it by a massive amount of logistical skills. A very mounted thing is they had to give a lot of areas autonomy, but the messengers they use, it was the messenger system. They had outposts dotted across like the Silk Road and other major causeways, traffic areas. And what they would do is they get the messenger to memorize through a poem, because they didn't have written language, so they didn't write the things down. They memorized it by poem, and then went 200 kilometers or however long they needed to go and deliver the message, because they had memorized it with poetry, which it's really great. It's really, really great. But sorry, that was a slight rant and a... Oh well, I respect the Mongol Empire. That no longer exists. Sierra Leone, Ivorian Nationalist War, very interesting. Segu, wow. Seguian Sahel. What, they had land down here? I did not see that. Bure, Choma, and Do. And Masina, Kala, Jenny, Haire. Haire. Whoa, I don't know what came out of my mouth just then. Bara, Karabara, Timbuktu, Mema, Azawad, Tadmeka, Tordini, and Hot. So, good job, Segu. You have purported yourself as a major power in the region now. And Segu, the actual province of Segu, ironically, has gone to Senegal. And Ouagadougou has also gone to Senegal. Very, very interesting. Burkina Faso, I do not believe lost. They did lose out. Hayaye has been lost, and nothing else. Niger did not gain. Uganda pieced out, took 3 provinces: Karagwe, Buyagoma, and Buzinza. I do apologise if I butcher any of that. Anyway, there are no current wars, so this appears to be a great time to end out the game right now. It's 2030. We've only done 6 years, gee. 30 years in, and it's shaping up to be very interesting. I do not believe by the time we end the series there will be a major power in Africa, but we'll probably see a big showdown between India and China in the near future. Maybe more of Southeast Asia going under China itself. Maybe Russia will actually make gains instead of just losing constantly. Europe is probably going to look the same, to be honest. It's probably going to look the same because of everything is in the EU, which is essentially the new Holy Roman Empire in this game. That's what the mechanic's been used for. So there's going to be not very much war there. The US hopefully takes Central America, and Brazil hopefully takes South America, and Nigeria, South Africa, Ethiopia, Egypt hopefully have a showdown eventually. So the Saudis Saudis. If you want to say it either way, I do believe it's proper. There's a lot of things where the pronunciation from Arabic to English ends up being like 3 or 4 different names for certain things, and there's a lot of stuff there. And hopefully we see some stability in the Central Asian region. Hopefully we see a major power form here. Anyway, until then, see you all next time, and you know the drill.